everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, this is This Family Thing. I'm a mum to one who's a toddler, and I'm also an early years childminder, so I just look after toddlers all day long, and it's super fun and super eventful. So my channel talks about being a mum, parenting, Montessori, a little bit of Waldorf. I like doing playroom tours, talking about respectful parenting, mindfulness, how to build more connections within your family, but I'm no expert. I'm learning as I go along, and I'm trying to be the best mum I can be and be the best version of myself, amongst this kind of craziness that is being a mum and a parent. So I'm sharing with you as I go along. So yeah, I hope you enjoy my channel. Thanks so much for watching. So I'm always asked, particularly from the Montessori community and other mums who are interested in Montessori, how to store toys. I know this is a big problem because the kind of Montessori style is to have toy rotations and minimalist shelves with specific activities set up for where the child is in the level of development and the skills that they're learning. So naturally, when you set up that kind of educational space, there's going to be an overflow of materials that aren't being used. So I did a really big clear out of my toy cupboard a few days ago, inspired by one of my friends who is also on this kind of minimalist journey. Every time I put stuff in the cupboard, it's always shoved in, and there's never any room for anything. And I'm one of those people where I hate where things don't have a space. So I love everything to have a space, and if I try and put something away and I'm cramming it in, it drives me a little bit like, So I had to sort out my cupboard, and I've done a video to kind of show you how I store everything and how everything is organised. So this is my playroom, or one side of my playroom, and this is our giant Ikea storage cupboard at the back here. This is where I store kind of any overflow toys, things that we're not using, art materials, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to give you a tour of what's inside because it's just been organised a few days ago. It was literally an absolute mess. I've got a before and after as well, which I'll be showing you. But yeah, lots of stuff went to the charity shop, lots of stuff kind of went in the bin, and I hate waste as well, so that drove me a little bit insane. But also, now that it's been organised, it's kind of really good for my sanity because I can put stuff away so easily, and there's more room for more resources, if we've got anything else to add. This is my cupboard, which has just been organised. So at the top here we've got lots of puzzles. We've got this is a magnet game which has like a magnetic doll, and you can put all different clothes on it. We've got flashcards, more flashcards here, kind of like matching games, that kind of thing. So that's all tidy up there. And then the second shelf we've got some card for like craft, and we've got paper here. This is a little like water magic drawing thing. We've got some stickers at the back, lots of crafty stuff. So here's lots of loose parts for like sticking or making things. I've got some acrylic paint pens here, we've got a roll of paper, we've got just some loose bits in there like magnifying glasses, that kind of thing, some craft sticks. So I love that everything's in Tupperware. I'm a little bit short of Tupperware in the cupboard now for food, but I'm totally okay with that since it's nice and tidy in here. And then here we've got more kind of crafty things. We've got some crayons in here, some paint, watercolour, chalk, more chalk, pencils, and then at the back I've got like Play-Doh materials, cups for like scooping. Yeah, so we've got paint pots, we've got magnets at the back, and then here we've got some sponges for like art and painting and things. So down here we've got, this is mostly for like sensory play. So we've got some Play-Doh here, we've got bubbles, we've got lots of like grains and things that we use for sensory play. We've got some balls there, like lentils, Easter egg balls, and then lots of different loose parts. There's like sand in there, kinetic sand, all those kind of things. This is more like sensory messy play type shelf. And then down here we've got some blocks. So we've got 2 boxes of mega blocks. We've got some magnets here and kind of like a matching puzzle game there. These are silks, which we're not using at the moment. And then at the bottom we've got some little buildings for like farm play, role play, kind of like imaginative small world type play. So that's the first side. So it's super organised, and as you can see it's not chock-a-block, so there is more room to add things if I need to. Some stuff actually I don't even know if we'll use, but I've kind of kept it because I don't like throwing things away. So I'll kind of keep it for a bit, see if it's used, see if it's something that we need for the future. If not, I'll probably donate a few things to charity again. Got this side, which is more like toys and things. So at the top it's a bit of a random one, to be honest. There's things that we use for like more for like babies, like some kind of posting games. We've got a box for posting. These are shape puzzles, some little tractors and things and animals to use with the farm toys. And then in here we've got some cylinder blocks, which we're not using right now. These are some grappat as well, which we're also not using. We've got some animals in here and some threading beads. This is a pegboard, and then all the little pegs, and then just like stacking and threading toys as well, which you're not using right now. And then loads of different puzzles here. My guys are literally crazy on puzzles. They love them, but they do get bored with them after a while. So I put them away, and then I only bring them out really when they ask for them, because they're kind of mastered these puzzles now. They're not really a challenge for them, so I only really bring them out when it's for fun, you know, if they want to play with them for fun. So I keep those in there in case I have any kind of younger children come on board who are into puzzles. And then we've got a little kind of wooden piano there. We've got some more toys. In here are some blocks, coloured blocks. We've got a transporter toy there, and then just a few like little cars and things at the back. And down here, this is a latch board by Melissa and Doug. That's actually a favourite, but we just haven't got it out right now. There's a like glockenspiel type thing, or xylophone, and then this is a ball run, which also they're not using right now, which I'll keep in case I do get any younger children on board with us, because ball runs are super popular. I remember when they were a bit younger, they played with these all the time. They loved it, like a bag of so many different balls, and they just do that all day. And then down here we've got a few instruments. In here we've got some more kind of like baby toys for exploring. Got some threading toys in here, but yeah, just more kind of like loose parts down here. And that won't go back in now. Oh, there we go. And then some blocks at the back. So that's it. Ta-da! That's my cupboard. I'm really lucky to have such a big cupboard to tidy everything away and keep it all out of sight. And it's not, you know, the most ugly cupboard either. It looks kind of nice in here and it fits in quite well considering how big it is. So if you want the link to that, I will put it below. And there's loads of different styles that they do at Ikea, lots of different doors, so you can choose glossy ones, different colours and textures. I just went for like the simple white doors, but yes, they do lots of different ones. But equally, if you don't have access to that kind of cupboard, or you don't have the space for it, or you're kind of looking to store your toys a bit differently or in different locations, or even if you have a smaller home and you just don't have room, my advice would be to keep it really, really minimalist. So I'm going to give you my 3 tips for having an organised kind of toy rotation storage area. And the first tip is to get rid of anything that you don't use. Give it to Goodwill, give it to charity shops, give it away to friends, anything that you don't think you're going to need, and throw away things that you're hoarding as well. I know that I used to be given a lot of things, and because I hate waste, I would always take it in to save it from being thrown away, and then it would just clog up my house and I wouldn't use it. I always think, oh, I'll find a use for that, and I never did. I mean, sometimes I did, but lots of things I didn't, and they would just clog up my cupboards and get in the way, and I just keep them there for ages without using them. So I kind of recommend a bit of like Marie Kondo with the, like, what does she say? Keeping things that only spark joy or something like that. So yeah, I'd go with the same kind of slogan, just to kind of keep hold of things that you feel like you're going to use, that the children love, and that spark that joy, because it's really going to save hassle and headaches in your kind of space and cupboards and storage and organisation. Because I know for me, the reason I've gone on this kind of minimalist journey is because not having place for things, having things overflowing, having too much mess and too much stuff is what gives me a headache. So having tidiness and organisation clears my head. So it's for my sanity more than anything else. So yes, that's my piece of advice. Just kind of get rid of anything you're not using. Obviously try and save it if you can by giving it away rather than throwing it. Or if it's good quality toy, you might be able to sell it secondhand somewhere, make a bit of money. But yeah, that would be my first piece of advice. So my second piece of advice would be, or my second tip, would be not to buy too much stuff. Only buy things that you feel that you need, or the child is really interested in, or that might fulfill a kind of skill they're trying to work on, or a kind of schema that they're interested in. It can be really tempting to buy beautiful toys that you see on Instagram. I know in the early days I was definitely a sucker for that. I'd be like, oh, that's so gorgeous, like she'd love to play with that, I'm gonna buy that, and I'd spend so much money on buying new toys and things, and often she just wouldn't play with them. It was more kind of like they looked really nice and they were good quality and all that kind of stuff, but following a child's interest is by far the best way to get engagement out of a toy or resource. Just really look at what they're interested in, the kind of play, ways they play. You know, do they play on their own? Do they play with other children? Do they play imaginatively? Do they like kind of small parts? Are they creative? Are they interested in cars, animals? You know, are they interested in kind of exploring objects, that kind of thing? So just look at what they're interested in and go with that. Open-ended toys, open-ended options are always really good because they don't have a kind of expiry date. They can be used from mostly birth to, I don't know, 4, 5, because the child uses them in so many different ways as they get older. You know, a child who's younger might use an open-ended toy for exploring, whereas as they get older it might be more imaginatively. But open-ended toys are great because they are used in so many different ways and they're, you know, open-ended. So my last tip would be to use kind of boxes, Tupperware, and keep things really tidy and compact. If you've got limited space, you don't always have to keep top toys in the boxes that they come. So if you have like loose puzzles and things, you might be able to fit them into a smaller Tupperware box, because boxes for toys do tend to be a lot bigger than what's inside. So if you think about it, you're storing, you know, a box this big for something inside which is probably this big. So you can take it out of the box and put it into a smaller box, which makes it kind of tidier and easier, so you can fit more things in. So if you've got like a cupboard, think of if you've got everything the same kind of size and shape, it's so much easier for storing and stacking, and particularly with Tupperware or glass bowls or tubs, those kind of things, you can see what's in them as well, so it's really easy to kind of look in and then see what's there. You can use stickers, labels for organisation, so you know what's in each box. Yeah, those would be my 3 tips for kind of toy storage and organisation. Oh, one more thing actually. One of my friends does a lot of like vacuum packing, so she'll store things like if her child has grown out of toys but maybe she's looking to have another child, which is also a problem because you don't want to get rid of stuff and then have to buy it all again when you have another child. So if they're kind of toys expired, you know, they've mastered the skill, they're not interested, not playing with them anymore, but you don't particularly want to get rid of them, then she does a lot of vacuum packing. So she'll organise things by kind of age or development level, she'll sticker them, and then what kind of skill they're building on, so if it's like fine motor or open-ended or exploratory or different schemas, or, you know, you don't have to go into that much detail, you can just say kind of like birth to 12 months or whatever. And then she'll store it somewhere which isn't taking up any space, so vacuum pack it, store it in the loft space, the attic, under the bed, at the top of the, you know, wardrobe, whatever really, under the sofa, somewhere where you don't need to come across it too often until you need to use it again, just somewhere out the way and it's not taking up any space, because then, you know, you're going to save yourself money in the long run, I suppose, you know, so you don't have to buy everything again when you have that other child. So yeah, that would be my advice. I hope you've enjoyed my video, and good luck with your organisation and tidying. I know when I started at the weekend, I was there for a good hour, and I took everything out and it was everywhere. I mean, you'll probably see from my clip that I put in, I started and I thought, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this. Like it took over everything, and you know, when you start something you're like, why did I do that? But yeah, I'm super happy with it now, so it's worth it in the end. You've got to power through and get some organisation in your life because it's so worth it when it's done. So yeah, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I really appreciate your support. I'm getting some lovely messages from people who are really enjoying my videos. Mums like me who just kind of want a bit of advice, or just like to take on, kind of see what other people are doing, and are interested in Montessori and you know, bringing up their children in the best way they can. So I love to hear your messages and read your messages, so thanks so much for your support, and I'll be posting a video next week.